Hello, hi there. Welcome back to the channel, my friends. My name is Brooke, if you're new here, and this is Seeds to Sanctuary. 2022 was the first year of canning for me, and I am super excited to show you everything that I was able to can up, grow up, and preserve up here on my city acreage plot. So let's take you back to the gardening season. We had a really good season. We grew over 200 pounds of potatoes. We grew onions and carrots and cabbage and green beans and eggplant tomatillos, tomatoes galore, strawberries, blackberries, raspberries, corn. Am I forgetting anything? Brussels sprouts, beets, radishes, you name it, and more. I was super excited when I realized that gardening is so much more than just gardening. I can preserve the food for long term. Yes, that might be a silly thing for some people to even think. What do you mean? She didn't know she could preserve her own food. Hey, my family might have come from West Virginia, but I am 100% a city girl. Let me tell you. Let me tell you a little story real quick before we get into the tour. I'm also going to show you what's in my freezers, but let's get to that story. When I married my husband over 15 years ago, his grandma, his little Polish grandma, had sheep in their barn. And I thought naturally they're pets, right? Because most animals that people keep in their home or on their property in the city are pets or they're a nuisance and we call in backup to get rid of them. So I was like, oh, how cute. Look at these little sheep. And I've grown accustomed to going over there and hanging out with his grandma and chatting and checking in on the sheep. And then one day I went over and I went into the barn and the sheep were gone. And I said, oh no. We
Oh
call her Grandma
no.
Buzzy. I was
Oh
like, oh no,
no.
Grandma
Oh
Buzzy.
no.
Where'd the sheep go? And she goes, in the freezer. I literally started bawling. And I will never forget Grandma Buzzy looking over at my husband, Robert, and saying, she's not the farming type, huh? So here we are, 15 years later, and my biggest heart's desire is to own acreage and be able to plant some fruit trees and vines that I cannot do here on my rental property here in the city. And have chickens for eggs and for meat and just all of it. I've already learned how to grow, and I keep learning, okay? I'm not a master gardener by any chance, but I do have what they say is a green thumb, I suppose. I think everyone has a green thumb. It's just your desire to do it. Your willingness to do it and your love to do it is another big thing, because gardening is quite a chore and preserving what you've grown is even a bigger chore. But the blessings that come from it and the achievement is it's just beyond a blessing. I cannot I cannot ride down any of these city lots and see these houses and not think, I wonder if they know that they could put a couple apple trees right there. I wonder if they know they can grow lettuce. I wonder if they know. And that's only because I did not know. I literally thought there was farmers and then there's grocery stores, and the farmers bring their stuff to the grocery store and we buy it and we're thankful and we eat it up. I had no idea this thing called homesteading until about 2020 when it all went down. And I was like, whoa, I feel really insecure right now. What can I do about this? And I had been gardening for the previous 4 years and I really enjoyed it, but I was only doing the summer garden. And I couldn't imagine. what I would do with all those tomatoes that I gave away. Right now, yes, I would give away painter's buckets full of tomatoes. Just please take them. And zucchinis and you name it. And now I'm like still giving away because I think it's important to help people who need. But I'm not forcing all my produce on my neighbors, friends, and family. So and now I'm really, really taking advantage of every bit of fruit that pops on my plants. So without further ado, let's get over to my preserved section. My goal was to have enough food for 6 months. Now, tomorrow is December 1st, so we have used quite a lot of this already. And I've also learned what I need to do extra next year. 200 pounds of tomatoes, 200 pounds of potatoes is not enough for my family by far. We probably only have about 6 pounds of potatoes left. You will not see any of the fresh veg winter squashes and stuff that I have in here. I only have one spaghetti. Oh, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'll show you that when we head to the freezers. Let's go ahead and do this tour. So over here in this section right here, I have all of my tomato products. They're all just sauce. That way I can add my flavorings, make it whatever I need to make it. I did in the beginning of the preserving season make a few that already were made into spaghetti sauce, but I've realized because I was using a water canner at the time and I had to add lemon, it already changes the flavor. I don't know if that does it for you guys, but it sure did it for me, and I don't like that flavor. So I still had to add seasonings in it to erase that. So now I have a pressure canner. Thank you, hubby. And I haven't blown the house up. I've used it quite a lot. There's a few episodes that when we're done with this one, if you still have time, go ahead and watch those ones. But yes, so I have 16 jars of tomato sauce that is ready and canned up. I only have one little apple pie quart left. And then these are my favorite. It was my first year ever preserving. Okay, sorry about that. So these here are my favorites. It was my first year ever preserving apples, and it was great fun. It really, really was. I'm sorry. I'll be, trying to get rid of all the coughs in this video when I'm editing, but the November was so rough with illnesses in this house. So very rough. I have an autoimmune disorder and it has really knocked me off my feet. So I also apologize for not as many uploads in November. I tried with all of my heart. Trust me, I did. But I had a husband out of town for a week. I had 2 sick kiddos home for a week, and my lupus flared up. Yay! But we're here and we're still rocking it out. So let me get back to the applesauce. I made 3 different kinds. The only ones that we have left of are the raspberry, and I do have one strawberry left over. Super yummy. All of the original and the cinnamon are gone. And I have 7 of these quart jars. And then let's go on down to this section right here. I canned up some ham and beans. I did it in a couple different size jars. I also did taco beans. I did this in an episode. And my larger ham and beans, this is ham and bean soup, so I can just pull it off, crack it open, warm it up, and we have an easy meal that I can, pop out some of my cornbread muffins from the freezer or whip them up because they're super easy. There's no rise time in cornbread. Very easy. Then my favorite section is my broth. Believe it or not, I use broth a lot. And when you're looking at the back of the packages, which I do have some, well, see, most of mine I try to get the organic, but this one is not. And the amount of sodium, 35%. It's insane. It's insane. So if you can't find the free range or organic, better yet is your homemade chicken broth. And it's super easy. I use a roaster and I let it all juice up for hours and hours and hours in my electric roaster. And then with the bones, I throw in all my frozen all of my frozen veggie scraps inside of it. And it just makes wonderful broth. So I have turkey and I have chicken. I do not have any beef broth. I haven't made much beef this year except for like hamburger so far. And then I canned up some chicken. I was really nervous about canned chicken. I was like, oh, I don't know. But we eat it all the time when we go to Sam's Club or to Giant Eagle. We're always buying canned tuna or canned chicken for convenience to make an easy chicken salad or tuna salad or whatever it may be. This, I just know where it came from. And then I also did make sloppy Joe mix, and I will tell you what, it tastes exactly like Mam Witch sloppy Joe mix. It is so yummy. And then I have a few jars of salsa, which was my first time, of course. I told you it's my first time canning and preserving anything. Well, my salsa is extremely hot, so it could be a challenge for the brave. I need to add some fresh tomatoes into it to kind of mild it out a little bit, which is really cool because I'm still using my own tomatoes from my garden that are fresh. I actually just put another bag into the freezer. I am in Ohio, zone 6, so of course they're not growing outside in the yard right now, but these were once completely full of all the green tomatoes I had left. And I was told if you put them together and you put them in a cardboard box or a brown paper bag, they will start to ripen. And it is so true. I have taken so many tomatoes out of these bags and I'm down to the last few. I did put them all in the freezer, so I will be able to make up a lot more sauce than this. But I've used every single jar that I had in the house at the time. I have purchased more, and I found some from my friend. She was moving her little homestead. She had to move, and so she sold me big boxes for $5 a piece of mason jars. So thank you so much. I appreciate it. And we're also hoping your homestead dreams come true as well, Emily. I hope you find your property. Okay, let's go on down to the next style. I am going to sit though to show you that because like I said, my autoimmune disorder is going a little nutsy nuts and I've been in a lot of pain and really swollen. So, okay friends. And then on my next shelf, like I said, I do have some store-bought broth because I use it for everything. We are a big gravy family. We love our taters. Obviously, 200 pounds didn't last us. So, yes, I love making homemade gravy. But anywho's, I caramelized onions this year and I canned them up. I pressure canned them. They're super, super yummy. I suggest doing it. It is so easy. Just going ahead, doing a whole bunch of onions at one time. That's also another reason why I don't have a lot of the fresh produce left, because I tried to preserve it as much as I could because I do not have a proper root cellar. And I live in a rental house on an acre in the city. And Yeah. I just can't go digging holes in someone else's property as much as I want to. So I also have some more turkey broth. And then I canned up pickles. And like I had mentioned in my previous video, when I was talking about canning for the first time, I need a good, they're super crunchy. I don't know if it was just because of the cucumbers that I grew or the process that I did. I did that part good, but they're not dilly enough for me. They're more vinegary, and yeah, I need to fix that. But I did make sliced and speared. I also have acorn squash and spaghetti squash pressure canned up. And then I have my beets. I did not get any beets canned, so those are store-bought. Now we're going to go down. I probably should have did up there first. Well, we'll go back up there. So down here on my bottom shelf, down here, I have all of my extra vinegars. I have tomato paste and chilies and tomato sauce. I have all of my mushrooms, canned mushrooms, your cream of chickens, your cream of mushrooms, your cream of celeries, and then tomato sauce. These are good to have around, but I also want to learn how to make my own cream of soups, whatever it is, cream of mushroom, cream of chicken, yada, yada, yada. I want to learn how to do that. So that will be one of the next ventures I get into. This is definitely more than 6 months worth of food, especially because of what you'll see in my freezer. I am very blessed and very happy to be able to do all of this and share it with you guys and maybe give you some tips and tricks and what I've experienced, what I've failed at, my mistakes. We all make them. If we share them, then we can all learn from them, right? So let's head on up to the top rack, and then we're going to go to my all store-bought shelf. Okay, so this is my canned store-bought shelf right here. These are all my pies. And you'll see that we love the calories. We are, still on the border of homesteading all the way and living the not royal, but living the city life. And, I guess people in rural areas still have junk food. I don't know, but we do have junk food. And I'm not going to hide it. And then this is where all of my condensed milks are. Also, my alcohol for my tinctures and my not essential oils, my extracts. We made some of those, super fun. Now, I canned up cranberry sauce for the first time, and it was so delicious. I keep saying the first time, but I told you all of this is my first time. Raspberry, super yummy. And then we have some strawberry. This strawberry came out more like a strawberry sauce, but it's really yummy. I make funnel cakes for the kids or pancakes, and we pour a little bit of that on there. Also, this raspberry applesauce is delish on French toast. The recipe, I did this. This is a whole video too. You can go check that out. Okay, now let's go here in this middle section. Okay, so I do have some, I need to stock up more on these, but these are my instant and old-fashioned oats. I have some extra sugar. I need to get another one of these white, they're not painter buckets. They're actually food grade buckets, but I need to get a couple more of these so I can add all of my extras. And then I have good old Crisco. And then in each one of these, I have 3 of these. I do have a rice. We love jasmine rice in this house. And then I have bread flour and all-purpose flour. And then I just refill my little containers that I have on my mantle and my fireplace in my kitchen. Now, Are you ready? Okay, so this is my store-bought section, and we go and buy these at our GFS, our Gordon Food Service, and these are for the kids' lunches. That way we're not buying the multi-pack, and there's always some ones in there that never get eaten because nobody likes them. I do like to buy these, and these last us about 3 months. And then these are just our chips for the month or two. We love our pita chips, and we love our white cheddar popcorn, our pretzels. And then I have a little bit of our meat snacks. I love going to that Shop and Save and Ollie's because they always have really good prices on stuff like this. I got these for $1, and it has 6 packs of cheese puffs in there. These are their apple sauces. Although I did buy some more containers. I'll show you that stuff over there in a second. So I can start putting my home preserved applesauce in their lunches. Get rid of all this plastic if I can. And then our mandarin oranges. And we have our pudding. We love pudding. And then we have our cereals. So behind the healthy cereal, we do have this cereal. And only one of my children love cereal. It would be my oldest. I bought these boxes. I have 2 of these left at Sam's Club around the 4th of July, and they were $1.99 per box. And in each box is 2 bags, full-size bags of cereal. So pretty much paid $1 a bag for name brand cereal. And you got to have checks around for cooking and making snack mixes. Then this is all of my extra condiments. We have jellies, hazelnut spread, mayonnaise, our hot sauce. We got 3 of those. My Worcestershire sauce, however it is that you say that. Bacon bits. And I have my turkey brine that I didn't end up using. Velveeta cheese. I love making sausage dip out of that. Mustard, barbecue sauces. I do have one of these big Pregos. I'll probably use it for like a big family gathering. I don't even know. I'm not sure. Because I really prefer homemade tomato sauce because it's the best. Okay. Then we have these. I'm just talking about sodium over there. And we have these. But when Mama's flaring up with my autoimmune disorder, these are a great thing that the kids can independently cook on their own because it's safe. They just go ahead and throw them in a safe microwave bowl, a little bit of water on top of them. They know they go in there for 3 minutes, 6 pushes. And yeah, that's super easy. We got macaroni and cheese. This is pretty much my Mama's not feeling good area. And then I have all of my spaghettis. I am going to attempt to make my homemade spaghetti again. It was a big fail almost 5 months ago when I started this channel. Well, I wouldn't say a big fail because I learned from that experience. I made great dough. I just didn't let it chill. I should have let it chill out. And then this is just all my extra noodles. Okay, friends. And then down here is where I keep all of my extra bulk spices that I cannot grow here or didn't grow in previous years and don't have enough. And this is just a bunch of extra seasonings I can't part with because I might just need. Does that qualify as being a hoarder? I'm not sure. Then I have my bulk yeast, my molasses, and then all of my baking supplies. I do have some Minute Maid rice down here. But yeah, so that's the pantry tour on this section. Let's go into my dining room and check out what's in the freezers. So I forgot to mention my other pantry in my kitchen, and this is the one that I pull everything out of first, unless it's my preserved canned food, because I'd rather keep those in one spot. So I have easy soups, some beans, some veggies, sauces, extra powders, my extra oils, breadcrumbs, and our little snack bin. Then in my big shelf over here, I have some taco shells, oatmeal. I get all of these really fun oatmeals at that Smart Shopper or at Ollie's. They're usually 99 cents to $1.99. Extra crackers, and then this stuff, don't ever buy, it's disgusting. My son Jason really likes Alfredo. We all do too, but we tend to need to stay away from milk. So I thought maybe I would just get that and make him some for his spaghetti, but it's gross. So I'm going to try to figure out what to do with that. Chocolate milk, you know, just my noodles and stuff that I need for up here, and more taco shells. It's less organized in here. More oatmeal, extra pancake mix, and this is all my cereal. And then over in this cabinet, I have some more taco shells, fake bacon bits. Yes, we love them here. A big bag of panko crumbs, fried onions. This goes into my baking needs, and then I have all of like my cheat sheet baking pies, crust, and extra nuts and chocolate for cooking, and breadcrumbs and salad toppings and pancake stuff right there. So that would be that. And then up here I keep more baking goods and our peanut butter, extra dry beans, gluten-free items, some specialty rices, my canning salts, sugars, granolas. This is a rice that needs to go up there. And yeah, just all the stuff you need to bake with. And then extra flours and baking powders and stuff. Now, my everyday use flours and sugars and garlic and everything, I just put right here on my mantle in my kitchen, right there. Then over here, this is like my garden buffet, I usually call it. I have some more of those tomatoes that I've taken out of those bags that I told you about earlier. And this is how we're down to the last bit of potatoes. I do have some smaller sweet potatoes left, some red onions, and then I'm not going to take them all out, but there's some onions in there. And then this is just some of my dehydrated foods that I did: onions, carrots, celery, chives, jalapenos, more different onions. And then these are just onions and also teas. And then my last little squashes down there and some of the bigger potatoes. Okay, friends, now we're at my first freezer. This freezer is my meat freezer. And you know those tomatoes that I just told you I put in here? So like I said, I keep pulling out all those tomatoes. I need to go ahead and keep this out so I can put it in my other deep freezer. And what do I have in this freezer? So let me bring you on over. Okay, friends, so what we got in this freezer, my meat freezer, is we buy our lunch meat in bulk. And I have all of my lunch meat We slice it up and dice it up ourselves. So all of our lunch meat we slice. We are our own deli. So I make sure that we have a good amount. We have salami in here, Cleveland bologna, which is the best bologna. We have ham and turkey and chicken, I believe, in here. We also buy our pepperoni in bulk, and we stock this up as well. Those pizza nights. And this bag is what I call my fast meal bag. So in the Shop and Save video, I showed you how I bought this popcorn chicken, and then I have a whole bunch of pot pie filling that I froze. You know, shrimp that are already battered. Really easy, made to order kind of food. Then we have our cheese bag. So I have lots of different kinds of shredded cheese and mozzarella, Swiss cheese. I also buy at Sam's Club the nacho cheese, and then I put them in little bags and I freeze them out, and I take them out because no one can use that much nacho cheese at one time. It's impossible. We have some mozzarella shredded. We have big block cheese. I like to buy our cheese in bulk, and then I cheese wax it or freeze it. And I like to keep, and this is just my preference, but I like to keep about 20 pounds of butter in my freezer at all times. Oh, these bags, I need better bags. I have a whole bag. This is called our bird bag. So I have our chicken that I process and seal up ourselves, ground turkey. And then we have my ground beef bag. I like to put them in the sealed bags, but I was waiting on Amazon and I had to use my Ziploc bags. But I like to keep about 50 pounds of ground beef. We use a lot of ground beef. I use it for a lot of things. And then on top of that would be our other beef that we use, which would be like Swiss steak, your big roast beefs, stuff like that. Go ahead and put this back down in there. Oh my gosh. You definitely need lots of muscles. Let's put this back in the right order. But this is our, we have our seafood bag. I like to keep about 20 pounds of seafood. This is our pork bag where we keep our hot dogs. We love hot dogs. We don't need to know what's in the hot dogs. Sliced ham, pork loins, sausages, all that kind of stuff. Pork chops, all in here. Now we are at my fruit and veggie freezer. So, like I told you how I make my broths, I like to keep all of my veggie scraps and go ahead and put them in a Ziploc bag and throw them in the freezer. Next time I make a lot of chicken or beef or whatever it is, I throw that in there, and that's how I make my broth. We have a big bag of spinach. I have frozen raspberries and strawberries and cranberries. I like to keep 5 to 10 pounds per each. Next up, I do have a gallon of milk in here. More random tomatoes that I told you I like to just throw in there once they turn red. Haven't got to the good part yet. Just wait till you see all the tomatoes. I do have a plain yogurt. They're good for making slushies for my boys. Almond milk, lactose family, even though we love dairy. Okay, so in my top rack is mainly my store-bought vegetables. Whenever these go on sale, these really quick, throw them in the microwave, cook them up, I buy them up. I also I froze up some of my own peppers. And I got green beans in here. I tried to throw in some convenience little bags the same way as the microwavable ones. What I have learned is you need to plant what you're going to eat. Maybe a few experimental things, but your property, your real estate is truly money in all sense. It's what you're growing, what you could save, everything. So in this bag, I have all kinds of corn that I've processed. I grew and threw it in here. There's not too much left of that because corn is our favorite. I have my squash bag where I've shredded up all of my zucchini for breads. I even cut them up for stir fries. Kept them whole just in case. Next is all of my apple pills. I've saved all of them from when I made applesauce, apple pie filling, and I'm going to make mint apple jelly because it's my father-in-law's favorite. I'm also going to make cinnamon apple jelly. Next bag, I have some frozen cabbage. I have celery, onions that I froze, bags of carrots, and then I have all of my peppers, and more peppers, and more peppers. We love peppers. This is my final bag of green beans. Got 12 of these left in this bag. Now, are you ready for all the tomatoes that I still have in my freezer? Well, this one has tomatillos, peppers, and tomatoes. So, let's get to counting with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And then that other one, so 13 and a half, because the other one has peppers. 13 and a half gallon size bags of tomatoes. Okay, friends, that is it. That is the conclusion of my pantry freezer tours. Thank you so much for joining me today. I can't wait to see you on my next uploads. Don't forget, I'm doing the 12 dozen of Christmas. Let's break bread with making basic and non-basic bread once a week, just to introduce how easy bread is to make. And then we're also doing a homemade Christmas where we're gonna make Christmas gifts and decorations and more. So stay tuned. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and hit the bell notifications so that you know every time I upload. Also, it does me a great favor by liking and commenting. It gets me out to that YouTube world and the algorithm, and I get to meet more people just like you. So thank you so much. See you next time. Bye for now.